Basically, there are two types of scroll views are there. One is a horizontal and another one is the vertical. So today I'll show you how to make both vertical scroll view and horizontal and vertical scroll view, both of them. Okay, this is not the program. Okay, fine. As you can see here, I have put one image, one title is there, and then another title, Tom and Jerry, and some description is given here. Okay, and as you can see, I can scroll it, and this scroll is happening vertically. So this is one part. Another part is that horizontal scroll view. That is, you should be able to scroll it horizontally. As you can see here, all the images, I'm able to scroll it horizontally. And as far as the description is concerned, I can scroll it vertically. So in today's program, we will be implementing both horizontal scroll view as well as the vertical scroll view. That is one thing. Now, another thing is that so far, we were using only constraint layout in which we were binding each the component whenever we are adding it. So today we are going to change that also. So today we are going to use only linear layout, and I'll show you how to design it using the linear layout. Now, linear layout is very important. Most of the time, linear layout only used because when you are using the constraint layout, you have selected one virtual device, and according to that, you're designing everything. Now, the problem is that the person who is going to use your Android app may be using the uh, Android app with the broader screen or the shorter screen. So in both the cases, if you have given the specific coordinates, in those cases, they may not be visible same as you have designed in their mobile phones. So it's always preferred that you don't do the constraint layout. Now, the reason for I selected for constraint layout at the beginning was to make sure that you get familiar with the design part, and you should also know what are the different types of layouts. Now, I'm sure that after 3-4 programs, you're familiar with how the constraint layout works, how to bind the components. Now, I'm just going to raise the bar, and today we will start with the linear layout. Okay, first we'll start with the new project. Select the empty layout, give one name. I'm going to give the name as testing. First thing is that you have to make sure that you have the images. So first we'll go to the RES folder. In that drawable, right click on that one, select show in Explorer. Now here, open the drawable folder, and here you have to paste the images that you are going to use in your project. The images are pasted here. So that part is done. Now I can see here, all the images are placed here. Now, the next is design part. By default, you will see that constraint layout is here and one text view is also there. The first thing is that I'm going to delete this constraint layout. Delete it. Open the strings.xml file, and here I'll be writing the resources. These resources are nothing but the app name, the text of horizontal, the text of vertical, the messages that we are displaying, the titles like horizontal scroll view, vertical scroll view, Tom and Jerry, and the description of Tom and Jerry. This one actually you can remove. Okay, first we'll change the layout itself. So go to the coding part. Here, XMLNS. You press enter so that it will come to the next line. Now here, this one, constraint layout, you have to change to linear layout. So start typing linear layout. It will give you option. The first one you have to select. It is linear layout compact. Okay. So the linear layout is done. The next is that you can directly add the component here in the component tree, and the same thing will be placed here. Okay. Now, in the linear layout, you have to set what is the orientation, because we want that in vertical. So we'll say that Android orientation is vertical for the linear layout. What happens is that when you add vertical as the orientation, whenever you add any component, they will be placed below each. Like first one will be placed first, and then when you add one more component, it will be placed below that one. So vertically, it will start keeping the components from top to bottom. If you keep it as a horizontal, in that case, they will be placed next to each other horizontally. So that is what the orientation is doing all about. Okay. Now I have this text here. So go to the text property. change it to, first we will have horizontal. The message is not visible, so I'm going to increase the font size. So it was previously, it's, I'll say 30. So horizontal scroll view. Now I want this one to be placed at the center of the screen. So in that case, go to the coding part. This is a text view code generated. So just click here after the height, write Android layout gravity, and then select center. So when you do that one, that label, the text view is placed exactly at the center of the form. Now, depending upon the mobile screen size, it will place at the center. If the mobile phone is 6 inches, in that case, it will place at the center. Even if the mobile phone screen is less, it will make sure that it will be placed at the center. But if you go by the constraint layout, in that case, you are giving the specific coordinates. When you bind that one, specific coordinates were getting generated. So because of that, whenever the same app was getting installed in different mobile apps, it was showing in a different way. So that's why I decided to demonstrate the linear layout. Okay. Now this is done. The next is that I want to display how the horizontal scroll view works. So for that, I have to add a horizontal scroll view to the form. So here in the palette search box, you can start typing horizontal scroll. The moment you type, it will give you a suggestion. Here you can see that horizontal scroll view is there. You just drag and drop it. That will be placed. Now check the code. Yes, it is getting generated. The scroll views must have one layout. So inside that itself, one layout is placed. Now, here we are actually demonstrating the horizontal scroll view. So the orientation has to be horizontal, not vertical. So we have to change this one to horizontal. Okay. This one, width, you can say wrap content. Height also wrap content. These two you have to change. Done. Now, next is that we have to add the image views. So just drag and drop. When you are dropping it, you can see that there is a slight blue line is coming. So that will tell you where we are placing it. Suppose if you place it here, in that case, it is coming under the outer loop. If you place it here, it is coming under the inner loop. So we are supposed to place this image view under the second linear layout. So while placing into the component tree, you have to be very careful and you have to pay an attention here where you are placing it. Pick the image, select it. So that is placed here. I'm going to add few more. So just add via drag and drop it into the component tree. Previously, we were dragging and dropping onto the form. Now we are dragging and dropping into the component tree. And when you are, before you release the mouse, make sure that you are placing it in the correct hierarchy. The tree structure you have to maintain. Now these things are done. Okay, let's check the code. Now, horizontally we have added horizontal scroll view is there. So you can rotate that one. As you can see that using the mouse, I can scroll it. So that horizontal scroll view is working. The next is that I want to place one label which will tell that the following is one of the description, one of the title I can place it. So again, drag and drop a text field, text view. Now placing it here, you have to be very careful. Now if I place it here, as you can see, arrow mark is coming just below the image view 4. In that case, it will place next to the image view 4. I don't want that. I want below the image, this horizontal scroll view. So I'm going to place it here. Now you can see that previously, whenever I was adding any images, it was placing next to each other. Now, while dropping itself, when I dropped it outside the loop, it is placed below the image view. I'm going to change this one to the text property. We'll say that, okay, Tom and Jerry will write the title. We'll change the font size. Now I want this to be at the center. If you want it to be at the center, go back to the coding part, look for that text view. Here is the text view. After the layout, just click it. Android layout gravity, you have to select. The moment you type the first couple of letters, it will give you the suggestion. So select that one, and again it will select, it will give you the options. What are the different alignments possibles? So you can give the center. Now if you look at the design part, as you can see, it is already placed at the center. Next is that I want to add the description. So I'm going to drag and drop one more text view. And here you have to make sure that when you're drawing it, one second, I don't want this one. Yeah, we draw this one here, change the text, and write down that as a demonstration of vertical scroll view. So you can say that the TXT vertical. Change the font size to 30 and go back to the coding. And again, you can change the gravity, layout gravity to center. Now, if you look at the design part, you can see that first we have one horizontal scroll view label is there. Then we have added 4 images which are scrolling horizontally. Then we have 2 labels. One is of course Tom and Jerry, and second one is the vertical scroll view. Now, for the vertical scroll view, I want to display the text content, because I want to show you that whether it's a text or an image, both will work. So that is the reason why I've selected the image for the horizontal and text for the vertical. You can interchange also, no issues. Now, when I add a text here, let's say if it is one line, then fine, I can add one label and then get it done. But here, the content, the description is too big, and I want that to be scrollable, right? So in that case, you have to add one scroll view here. Then you have to add the text box where you are going to display the complete description. So scroll view is here. You just drag and drop, and while dropping it, see where that blue arrow mark is coming, where these dotted lines are coming. That dotted line will tell you where, in what hierarchy it is being placed, the tree structure. Place it here. Right. By default, one linear layout will be there. Linear layout must have one child. So in that case, we can add one text view there. Okay, first, we need to make some changes in the scroll view. Linear layout, vertical is there. Yeah, fine. No issues in that case. Okay. Height, you can change it to wrap content, the scroll view. Now, under the linear layout, we have to add one text view. So select this one, drag and drop. Again, while dropping it, you have to make sure that you're dropping at the correct hierarchical position. Drop it there. Now go back, text property, change it to description. That I have a TXT Tom Jerry description is there. So we'll add that one. Change the font size also because it's not visible. Keep it as 24. Come back to the coding part. Check whether the height is set as wrap content or not. Yeah, it is wrap content only. Now we'll run the program and we'll check whether it works or not. Gradle is being built, so okay. Now you can see here, I can scroll the images horizontally, that is working. Then I can scroll this content vertically. So vertical scroll view and horizontal scroll view, both are working. Now the main advantage of using the scroll view is that sometimes what happens is that you may want to display the one image and the description is too big. And whenever somebody is reading the description, they should also see the image also. So in those cases, you can put one image and then you put the description under the scroll view so that reader will keep on reading the text, but the top one image will be there. You might have seen in some applications, 1 second, just cross verify that. You might have seen that in the whenever you're watching the YouTube video in your mobile app, you will see that the video is getting displayed, and that will be stay there only. And when you scroll it, only the remaining content is scrolling, but the main content which you are playing, that will stay there only. So you can say that those kind of things are done using these techniques. Scroll